We're back, people, and today we're bringing on film on Isaiah Mack, Miami Dolphins defensive tackle, number 97 right here. I thought he had a really good game in this preseason week 1, and actually was probably one of the biggest surprises. Really, the whole D-line room stepped up. I think, Mack was a name people, weren't expecting to see too much from, but he really went out there, made an impact, especially in the running game, showing off some power. He played with good technique, good gap discipline and control overall, mostly just positive plays. We'll show a negative or two there, but I thought he did a really good job versus the run in multiple different areas, getting down the field laterally, just being impactful, really understood his assignment in most areas, which is big. He also had that nice turnover, diving on the fumble, and he just kept himself clean. And I think the tier chart release is a good sign for him, like probably being a practice squad candidate, because I think him and Peely were kind of fighting for like a backup or like fighting for that practice squad spot. I think with Tark going out, it gives Mack a good shot of getting on the practice squad, and he definitely showed a lot of nice things in this game. Thought he moved pretty well. It wasn't a guy that I expected too much from, but he still went out there and definitely stepped up. We'll watch this play first. Lined up as a four-eyed, slight shade to the inside of this tackle right here. He's in a natural leverage position to get control of that B gap. Gets in a good spot with the right guard. He's just in control of his gap. Plays with good pad level, gets off the ball, and now he's just controlling this guard with good hand placement, good base, extend with his hands. Now uses that right hand, fully extend, get the left hand off, and then look at him just once he gets, like, this is his primary gap, the B gap, but then coming back to his secondary gap, playing like in a gap and a half technique, he's able to just shed this with full extension with the right arm, torque him out the club, use the hips, and then make that tackle. No, that's just beautiful technique. His best play of the day. He is known for being more of like a no/one tech type. That's why he's kind of in that Peely conversation. There's Benito Jones, but it'll be interesting if they keep him around. I think he is a nice practice squad candidate. I think a lot of these D linemen are the ones that don't make the team. It just depends who gets picked up. I just think Mack is probably one of the ones not likely to. But it's nice to see him make a name for himself this time. As a one technique, just basically they gets to straight up on a center here, playing both parts. He's literally straight up with him. He wants to get laterally down the field, so they're trying to work outside zone, but he doesn't want to get cut off by the center. But once he sees the path of the running back, he anticipates that he's going to go to the cutback lane, get in that secondary gap, toss him aside, shed the center, and then also with his leverage, he kind of forces a cutback lane into multiple other players. So just doing his job, doing it in multiple different ways. I really liked his run game work, and it's nice to see, like, as a guy who was pretty clear rosterable but probably not likely to make the roster, going against other guys of that same caliber, and he kind of dominated them. That's always a good sign, that he's at least above that level and probably belongs at least as a practice squad player. This was probably his best pass rushing rep. I don't think I see him too much as like a real pass rusher. He's more of like just he'll run down the middle of you and win with hands, leverage, power. Like he bullied this absolute poor left tackle. Gets off the ball, at least tried to attack that outside half, gives a little bit of a fire there, but then he just bullies him. Just wins, boom, which ends up throwing off this pass because he throws the O-lineman into the quarterback, and this probably would have been a touchdown if that didn't happen. So really big time plays made by Isaiah Mack, really in the running game, but this was his best pass rush. But don't expect that to be like a norm if he does end up seeing playing time, because some of these guys who do make the practice squad do see playing time, but it is nice to see the whole D-line room. I think that's a good sign just for the coaching of the D-line room, and Anthony Weaver, who defensive coordinator, is former D-line coach for the Ravens. Clearly these guys are out there playing well, because a lot of the rosterable guys really went out there and showed out. Here he gets off the ball, one tech. This time he's shaded to the backside of the outside zone play, so he gets control of the guard. He understood what's going on, sees the center isn't trying to block him, attacks the guard. You could tell that he identified the play, and he just resets the line of scrimmage on this guard, pushes him into the backfield, and then he's able to shut off a little bit late. Would like to see him maybe shut off a little bit earlier, but I think he does a good job. Just at least you get to see the power of the technique, and then come off and then help make the tackle, get involved in the pile there. Here we get to see just more examples of him working laterally, at least not getting cut off. He's at least staying even with these guys. The center, trying to cut off that one tech, he keeps working, keeps using his hands. He's fighting to escape it, able to basically chop out of it there and then get down and help make the tackle. That's an impressive lateral hustle play from more of like that nose tackle one tech type of player, and Mack kind of went out there and really made a name for himself in this game. Got to give him and a lot of the other guys a ton of respect for, what they were doing. Just another example of him working laterally versus Falcons, running a ton of outside zone, and just not getting taken out of the play, continuing to work, strain. Even though, he gets cut off a little bit here this time, he's still able to throw the lineman to the side and still get involved in the tackle because he got down the field so far laterally. He maintained a good relationship with the running back, good gap discipline, and allowed everyone else kind of to work after the play. Here's the recovered fumble. Nothing too crazy here. I mean, it was a missed botch snap, but he fires off the ball so quickly. They clearly, he was the one that was closest to it, and he just gets upfield, dives on the ball, recognizes, makes just a nice play there. Feel like there's nothing too much to break down, but it's nice to see him getting involved, making some turnovers. When they tried to cut him off, like we saw him earlier, on these outside zone concepts, doing a good job. Here's more of like the pin pull stuff, and they're trying to chop him. He does a great job with his hands, keeping himself clean. He feels it. I feel like he has really good instincts for the different types of blocks that O-linemen are doing. And then he keeps himself clean and then still gets down the field laterally. Like, he's not the most crazy athletic guy, but he's out there hustling. He doesn't get involved in technically get any tackles, but this is pursuit. If, say, someone forces him back to the inside, he was in a great spot for that. That's exactly what you want to see out of your interior defensive lineman. Really like that stuff from Isaiah Mack. Here's a 3 technique. Does get cut off. Like, there's sometimes where he did get cut off, like this left guard is able to cut him off, reach him, but he does at least a good job with his power and like resetting the line of scrimmage. He does push this guy back. He is able to at least throw him into a lane of a running back, so then everyone else is able to get there, go to work. And I'm pretty sure the running back does trip over that left guard's leg and this tackle. So Leonard Payne and Isaiah Mack, even if they you don't get credit and it wasn't the most clean play from the beginning, because you don't want this guy to get that leverage advantage on you. You don't want his hat to cross your hat. He's still able to make up for it and just win with pure power. And that's an excellent example of exactly what you want to see from those types of reps, even when things don't work out perfectly. Here's a nice play where he might lose leverage initially, but he's able to get back on track, get back on the outside half, which he gets to a spot where like this is where he wants to be. Usually this would force a cutback, but the edge, my bad, but the edge isn't able to hold the edge. Like Cam Brown gets reached here, which is not a good rep. If the edge is in his right spot where he's supposed to be outside leverage, this would have been like a perfect rep for Mack to be disruptive. But since this guy's now able to bounce off outside, which he should be cutting inside to other help if this guy's doing his job, but he's not. So he's able to capture that edge, but that's still another good rep from Mack. When everyone was else working in tandem, he was out there making some plays. Some more pass rush stuff. I don't know what 74 is doing, but he's, at least Mack's out there giving different looks, different powers, trying to hit that hump move on the center, get him to open up his hips, at least showing a little bit of torque. You can definitely see, Mack has got that like nice low center of gravity. He was out there making plays. Sometimes he was going a little too fast, I think, for his own good. I like the quickness, the first step to knife to the inside. I just don't know if he has enough athleticism to do this, where then he has to get back on his path to the outside. But if this was, set better to the edge out here, but they had number advantage, so it was kind of hard for, these guys to get out there. If it was set better to the edge out there, then Mack, had a chance to make a play up the middle, but they end up adjusting to it. But it's nice to see that quick first step. Now he's out here trying to throw spin moves, hard stab to the inside, try to hit that club, and then boom, spin out of it. I like seeing him have a plan to adjust his initial move, have a counter move. He does lose his balance here, which is unfortunate. I mean, he gets back up. Like, if the ball doesn't come out super quickly, Mack would have, been in a position to still get a hit because he does get back up. It's a quick third down adjustment. But I do like seeing that he is out there attempting different things, has a counter move when his initial move doesn't work. And still, even though you want to see him stay on his feet, there's still a little bit of, impressive athleticism going on there. So really liked what I saw from Isaiah Mack. I really liked what I saw from most of the D-line room. I'll definitely get a Peely video out here too. Other people that I think I have planned, like an Andrew Meyer and Isaiah Johnson. And then we'll see who else, comes out. Maybe a Jason Maitre. But if you guys know the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.